Welcome to Legacy Mentor Wednesday, where I pull the cards, get some prompts, get you going with your journal, your Living Legacy Life journal, and then offer you some insights about what's happening next. I'm going to start a little different today. I'm going to go to the card that is the image of the whole. Then I'll go to the single word, and then I'm going to come to the letter U. And let's see what unpacks for ourselves this week. So with the image of the whole, what came up was the question where. And for me, where is an extension of how. So when you ask the question, how am I going to do this? Then what follows, what fits in next is, where will I do it? And therefore, that how, these actions we're going to take, the where gives you that location. And that location is at a place that is very tangible, space, which is sort of in the background or could be imaginary, or a combination of the two that I call splace. And with that, what you're going to do is give yourself the insights, the permission to be in that place, space, or splace, so that as you look at whatever it is that you're doing to figure out how to improve focus and strengthen it, you also have a sense of where that this is taking place. And therefore, by this extension, you're sort of putting what you're doing into the future and bringing that future ideas back to the present. So it's kind of a fun question to ask. And when you reframe it with the how, you got something to work with. The single word that I got today was cause. And this is kind of an interesting word because I think of causal, and then I think of casual. And what that means is I'm just moving the S around the U, causal, casual. And therefore, what do I see? And you see it to be causal or casual. In other words, the cause that you're bringing forth for that effect, that consequence, there is some reason for it. Is it more, I need to get something done, or I can lay back a little bit and I'll get it done, but maybe there's a bit more relationship that goes with it, then I'm going to cause it, which is a bit more structure that's related with it. So think relationship as connection. The sense of structure is about arrangement. You can look at it using words like that. And there is one of those phrases that always pops to mind when I get words like cause. And it's because. Because, how we use things is because I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the cause of this. And one of the great phrases I came up with many years ago was, be the cause of loving, love the cause of being. Now, if that fits into a way in which to sort of get a little bit of philosophical flavor into living your legacy life, enjoy, and let me know down below if it matches up with what might have some meaning for you. I'd love to hear what you've got to share. And then we can, because of something. And wouldn't that be great if it's about stories, contributions, project from a legacy point of view? The letter I got today was U, the U. And this one is kind of an interesting one, is because I don't often use it. So when I went looking for the 5 words I'm going to associate with it, I had to do a little bit more digging in and looking at things and trying to go, well, that would fit, that wouldn't fit. And I'll explain those in a second. But what is the significance of the letter U? So I went and looked up. And often it's a shorthanded form of YOU when we say, well, you, and you just go you. So I think of thank you as TU. That's how I type it out nowadays on my messages. So that was one way. But it also has this linkage to the universe. When you see a big U and it's sort of in a philosophical future sense or reaching out into the cosmos kind of conversation, the U gives you a sense of universe. And I thought that was kind of an interesting one. And when I link it to the tree, and you know that I always do a tree connection here, I have to go back into the Latin ulmus, which is about elm. And I've always liked the elm tree is because if you actually look at the leaf and you see where the two sides of that leaf come together on the petiole, there is a bit of a gap there between them. They don't come and just sort of line up like this. They come in and line up so there's a bit of a space between them. Take a look at an elm leaf. You'll see what I mean. And that always went, oh, okay. So the elm has a little bit of a different story. And I think out there, universe, cosmos, getting out into understanding the you, that plural you. Now, when it comes to the 5 words associated with you, I ended up with unity, use, up-level, upskill, uncover, and unique. So let me start at the bottom and move up. With the unique, I think of when we're living our legacy life, and it's the story we're sharing with ourselves. We're decoding that story of living that legacy life. That's about the unique journey. And we have the opportunity with aging and being educators 60 plus, looking at our legacy life. We can go into more of what it means for us for our unique journey and really take a look at the life, the leadership, the legal, the literacy, the leverage, which is another video that I've done on the 5 L's. You can take a look at under the Legacy Mentor playlist here. And it just, you can deepen it and deepen it and deepening and just get a better sense of who you are and the legacy life that you're living. And that can be from the contributions point of view. You're not getting into big projects. That's something else. But the contributions, and that might be a legacy letter, legacy notes. It can be something that, well, I just want to collect the recipes. Someone mentioned that today on a post that I was interacting with, and they said they're actually working with their daughter who wants the handwritten recipes of the grandmother. And the person was mentioning, well, it's because my grandmother's handwriting was great. Mine more looks like a scribble. I just had a chuckle when I saw that in the post. But the contributions, you don't have to make it big, large, but it has that real heartfelt leaning, expression, expansion that goes with it. When you get to uncover, then on this journey, you're uncovering things. Sometimes things are hidden away from you. And if you give yourself that opportunity to learn a little bit more about who you are as a person in your within, without, between, together, and beyond, it gives you an opportunity to uncover some ideas that may have been hidden away, uncover some skills that you hadn't touched for a while. So it seems like uncover was a great next word to go with it. And then it was up-level, upskill. And I know that some universities are actually turning to offering those who are aging in the 60s new programs that help them to continue their curiosity, to continue that deeper appreciation and learning, this up-leveling and upskilling, that they might put it to use in some other ways. And I say, come on over and use the legacy lens around that and see where that might take you. The next one was use. And this is a great verb because when you go to practice, in other words, to go into the doing, can you use the tools and techniques that are available for you? So use ethical decision making. And that gives you a heads up to the tools, techniques, technologies that are available to you, and do you know how to apply them, to practice them, to use them? And then that gets us to unity and coming together. What's the level of commonness that unifies us? That's common unity, community, and it's in the form of communication as well. So when you've got this sense of unity and what brings you together, and that's why from a legacy community that I will eventually get up and running and invite you to get involved with, how about taking a look at the unity there, getting involved with that community? But I would certainly encourage you to create your own communities, smaller groups with like-minded persons, and just have those great conversations. And if they can be intergenerational, ooh, let's add that technical term, there's some oomph there. And that starts with a U. I'm actually using the informal version of oomph to oomph and give it a little bit more in there. So, having fun, of course. So as I turn to programming and as a legacy mentor, I'm available to assist in all of what it is that I'm bringing forward, whether using the prompts that I've mentioned already and or some of the activities, the products, services, experiences that are forthcoming. So I'm digging into the whole legacy story and starting with the hearth of legacy and to see where that might take us. I believe there's something there that can be of great assistance. In the marketing world, they talk about getting your origin story, your signature story that you can share. Well, similarly, your legacy story, which you will continue to write, I always encourage continue to noodle and doodle what that story is about. What you have is you have that touchstone that you can work with to be able to have it available when you meet people and you're sharing what it is that you're up to, and to be able to have different elements of that come out as ways to engage others and request feed forward for your own life to move you along that sort of ABC journey that you're on, that unique journey, or the adventures together with others. So think about it from that perspective of the hearth of story, the hearth of legacies that is available for you. So with the story, I'm actually going to be sharing some ideas about how to get your story writing going, because sometimes people go, oh, and I go, take the oh, and say, hang on a minute. There's writing, yes. There's crafting. There's doodling. There's drawing. There's filming. There's lots of ways in which you can actually shape and share your legacy story. I use writing because it's a common phrase, but you can use all the others. I tend to do a lot of writing, so that's why I use the word writing. But I'm starting to actually bring in noodle and doodle nowadays, just to offer some other way in which to, in my phrasing, touch your head, heart, and hands as you go into the creative process. And what I'm going to be doing is giving you some tips that you can use, techniques that you can use to improve focus and strengthen your writing or whatever way you're going about that shaping and sharing. So keep an eye out for those. Those are going to be on the videos. And then in the weeks to follow, I'm also going to be sharing quite a bit of insight about this notion of awareness of what's going on, the intention from the future and the attention moving forward in the present, moving that present forward, and sort of seeing what happens from a living legacy life. And there's some ideas that I want to share with you around the use of meditation, the writing that you're doing. And I actually am chatting with a couple who are wonderful. I've been interacting with them for a number of years now, and they have what's called an intention that is linked to jewelry, and I'll share what they're doing with that in terms of planting trees and involving young persons around the world. I believe that sort of covers it off, and if you're at this point and we've not met, I'm Stephen. I'm a legacy mentor with Wealth Movement. I'm here with Living Legacy Life, this channel here on YouTube, and if I can be of any assistance, just let me know. And what's going to be popping up now are videos that you can go to learn a little bit more about living a legacy life. There's a lot of videos that I've shot, shorts that are really great for journaling, some longs that are there going over some ideas, tips that you might want to put in place. And then there's been some live workshops, sort of mini workshops. So with that, take care.